Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to solve day 22 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 3347. Maximum frequency of an element after performing operations 2. So the problem statement of this particular problem is same as part 1 of this problem. Right, so in this problem also you are given an integer array nums and two integers k and num operations. You must perform an operation num operation times on nums, where in each operation you select an index I that wasn't selected in any previous operations, and we have to add an integer in the range minus k to k to nums of I, right? And in the end we have to just return the maximum possible frequency of any element in nums after performing the operations. So problem statement is similar to this particular problem 3346 part 1, right? And here if you see, we have given the same examples, right? 145 k is equal to 1 and num operations is equal to 2, so we can do total two operations in total, right? So here, like, if you have 145 initially, then if you add 0 in this, so this is nothing but your operation 1, and again you are going to get 145. And here, if you do minus 1, okay, if you add minus 1 to this 5, you are going to get 144. So now this is nothing but your second operation, and now in this, if you see, the 4 is occurring 2 times, so we have to return the max frequency, and output is 2, right? This is what we are doing, right? And k is nothing but minus 1 to 1, right? This is a range, right? And we can add any number in this range to this, right? We have three options, right? Minus 1, 0 and 1, right? Same way, you can also do one more thing, 145. In operation 1 you add 0 at this particular point, you are going to get 145, and in the next operation you add 1 here in the 4, you are going to get 155. So if you see, now only again you are going to get the same frequency, right? 5 is occurring 2 times, so max frequency is 2, right? We can't get 3 in any case, right? That's it, right? See this example number 2, 5 11 20 20, right? K is equal to 5, and we can only apply one operation, right? So if I add 5 in this 11, I will get 16 at max, right? And if I subtract 5 from this 11, I can get what? I can get 6, right? So see, 5, I can't make 5 equal to 11 as well. Okay, if I add 5 I will get 10, and if I subtract 5 I will get 0, right? I can only do one operation also, right? So in the end you will see that only 20 is occurring 2 times, so we have to return the max, right? And we have to do one operation, so I can simply add 0 in 5. We can achieve a maximum frequency of 2 by just adding 0 to nums of 1. Okay, you can add 0 here at this 11, or you can add 0 here in 5, right? But at most the frequency is going to be 2 only because of this 20, right? So similar to part 1, right? Everything is same, right? But only differences in the constant side, right? So these are the constants for 3347, and these are the constants for 3346. So here this nums dot length same, okay, but problem lies here. All right, nums of I value is from 1 to 10 raised to power 9, right? And here it's just 10 raised to power 5, right? So in this particular problem 3346, let me show you the code. So this was the code, right, in 3346, right? So if I just copy the same code and paste it in 3347, and let me just submit it, let me show you what is going to happen now. So see, we are getting this error, time limit exceeded error, right? So 614 test cases got passed out of 633, right? So if you see here this line, right? So in this line, I'm running one loop, right? And since we have already sorted my array, right, here we have sorted the array, arrays dot sort nums, right? And here if you see this loop, so here my target is starting from nums of 0, like that simply means the smallest value, and it is running until the largest value, nums of n minus 1, right? Since I have already sorted nums, so it is in increasing order, right? So this nums of 0, right, smallest value and the largest value, this can be very large, right? So here if you see this particular example, let's say my smallest value is 1, right, and my max value is 10 raised to power 9. So here I am running one loop for of n time, right? Linear loop. Here if you see, I am running that, I'm checking all the elements in this, I'm checking all the elements in this, right? So if I do this, so that simply means of 10 raised to power 9, right? That simply means I'm going to get time limit exceed error, because anything if you run for approx 10 to power 8, right, you will definitely get time limit exceed error, right? So that is the issue here, right? So if you guys haven't watched the part 1 tutorial, right, so I will suggest you guys to watch this video as well, because I'm going to use this code only, the code that I have used here in 3346, and I'm going to do the some modifications on top of that, right? Okay, so here let me prove here. Okay, this is your part one, right? So in this part one, let me just uh, uncomment all these lines, right? Okay, so now let's run it. So see this particular example, case 4, let's say. So we have 53 and 88. So here we are checking all the targets, 53, 54, 55, 56, right? All the targets until 88, right? Until 88 we are checking everything, right? This I don't want to do this time, right? So k is equal to 27, number operations 2, right? So target 53, right? So so here from this example you are clear, right? We are checking all the targets 53, right? From smallest number to the largest number. Here 1 to 10 I'm checking everything, right? Here in this example 5 to 20 I'm checking everything, all the targets for 13, 14, 15, 16, right? This I don't want to do right now. Okay, so let's see how I'm going to solve this problem now, right? So here let's take this example, 53 comma 88. Let's say this is the example, right? In this k is nothing but 27, right? Let me go here and check. K is nothing but 27 and num operation is equal to 2, right? Num operations is 2, right? Num operation is equal to 2, right? So here for 53, okay, if you see 53 is occurring one time, 88 is occurring one time, right? So instead of checking all the numbers like this 53, 54, 55 to 88, right? Instead of checking all this, I don't want to do this right now, right? What I'm going to do here, right? So in this 53, if I subtract 27 and if I add 27, right? So I will check what is the max value and what is the mean value that I'm going to get, right? So 53 minus 27, right? So definitely if I'm subtracting something from 53, right, I'm subtracting something from this one, right? So I'm getting smaller value than this 53, right? Okay, and if I add, right, I will get some bigger value, right? So here this is smaller value, right? This is much smaller than this 53, right? I don't need to check, right? From 53, right? If I subtract 27, let me just subtract first. So what we are going to get 6, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? And here 26, we are getting 26, right? And here if I add 27, I'm going to get 0 and 5, 6, 7, 80, 80, right? Same way here. First let me show you. If I subtract 27, 88, 27, so 1 and 61, right? This is what I'm going to get, right? Clear? And if I add 27, that also we don't need, right? So 8, 7, 15 here, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 115, right? 115. So these are the values that we are going to get, right? 26, 80, 61 and 150, right? Okay, so so here this is my first number, this is my second number, right? So if from this second number, if 53 is not possible, right, from this second number the numbers are already sorted, right? So if from second number this first number itself is not uh, possible, right, then why do I need to check some previous numbers, right? Right, if it is possible then just check this number now, just check this number. If it is possible from this number, just check this. Why do we need to check some previous values, right? Okay, what I'm saying here, let's say here we have 5, here we have 10, right? So I can subtract let's say k is equal to let's say 6, I can subtract at most, right? I can subtract this minus 6 to 6, right? I can subtract like in this range, right? So from 10 if I subtract 6, I will get 4, and from 5 if I subtract 1, I will get 4, right? From 5 if I subtract 1, from 10 if I subtract 6, right? K is 6. So in this range I can subtract any number, right? I can, let's say I can do two operations in total. So in this one operation I'm subtracting minus 1 from this 5, I'm going to get 4, and in the second operation I'm subtracting minus 6 from 10, I'm getting 4, right? So 4 frequencies 2, right? 4 frequencies 2. So you are going to say 2 is the output, right? That is right, 2 is the output, that is right. But why do I need to check 4, right? I can simply I can simply prove it like this also as well, right? 5, and here in this 10, in just one operation I can subtract 5 from this, so I'm going to get 5, right? And in this 5 I can simply add 0, I can get 5, right? So again with 5 also I'm getting two operations, right? So why do I need to take some smaller value, right? If 5 is possible, just show that now. Why do I need to check 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, right? I don't need to check. If 5 is possible from this number, right? If from 10 all these numbers are possible, right? 5 is possible, then why do I need to check for before that, right? So that is the reason what I'm planning to do. I'm going to ignore this, I'm going to ignore this 26 and 150. No need to check. Just check these numbers. Uh, we have this number, right? So now you have to check this number. Just check this 53. Ignore this smaller. Just check 80. Just check 61. Just check 88. So four numbers do you need to check here. Four modes you can say. So what are the four modes you need to check here? 53. Let's add them in the sorted order. And here 61. Check 61 also. So here 61, and here you have 80, and here you have 88. Okay, so 80 and 88. Only these two things you have to, only these four things you need to check now. That's it, right? So instead of checking here, instead of checking all the numbers like 53, then 54, 54 only one is possible. With 55 only one is possible, right? 56 one is possible. Right now what I'm doing, I'm checking 53, then after I'm directly checking 61. I'm directly checking 61. Then after 61, I'm directly checking 81, right? 80. Then after 80, I'm directly checking 88, right? So only few things I'm checking. I'm not checking everything from 53 to 88, like 53, 54, 55. I'm only checking these things, right? So now, again, in this, once I calculate this, then it's very simple, right? So 53, right? This is first number, right? So what we have to do? So for this 53, what is the left and what is the right, right? So these are the, we have to find out the lower bounds and the upper bounds, right? Simply. So lower bounds, like here how you are going to calculate. So this is the num array you are going to pass, and this is the value 53. 53 from 53, if you subtract k value, right? So k is nothing but 27. So if you subtract this, what you are going to get? You are going to get 26, right? And if you add 27 to this 53, right, you are going to get 80. So here we are getting 26, right? This is the lower and this is the upper, right? 80, right? That's what we can reach. And what is our original num array? In original num array we have 53 and 88, right? And if I just give the indexing 0 and 1, right? So now here tell me, what is the first index? First index where we have value greater than equal to this 26, right? So this is nothing but 0 as of now, right? And also tell me the first index where value is greater than 80, where value is greater than 80. So that is nothing but 1, right? So that simply means that we have these two things, right? These two things, right? So this is nothing but 88, right? So here 1, right? So this is nothing but, you can say, upper bound, upper bound, and this is nothing but your lower bound, lower bound. So lower bound, in lower bound I'm just calculating the first index which is greater than equal to 26 in my nums array, and in upper bound I'm just finding out the first index which is greater than 80. So this is my upper bound, right? All right, so this is lower bound, this is upper bound. Now after that, in the previous this particular example, right, if you see, I'm calculating the left, right, lower bound nums of target minus k, and upper bound nums of target plus k, right? And here I'm doing -1. So -1 is nothing but for this right. So here that simply means I'm going to treat my left as my lower bound, right? And I'm going to treat my right as upper bound -1, right? This is what we were doing right here, if you see. So now in this case, let me use some other right now. So this is nothing but your left index, and your right index is also going to point to this one only, right? Right is nothing but upper bound is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So this is your right. So now for 53, right? So if you see, count in the range. So the window length, right minus left, right is 0, left is 0, plus 1. So that is right, right? Window length is just 1, only 53, right? So only from 53, that simply means only from 53 we can reach to 53, right? From 88 we can't reach to 53. That's a simple meaning of this. That's a simple meaning of this. Next time when I'm going to check for 61, right? Now let's see 61, right? So for 61, first you need to check the lower bound, right? So 61 minus 27, if you do, what you're going to get 4, and here 34, right? 34, and here if you add 27 you are going to get 8 and 8, right? 88, right? So these two things, right? Now this is your original num array 53 comma 88. So first index which is greater than equal to 34 is nothing but this is nothing but your lower bound. First index which is greater than equal to, which is greater than 88, right? So here if you see, first index greater than, we are finding greater than, so greater than 88, so there is no, right? So here 0, 1, and this is 2, right? So I will just simply say that this is nothing but the length of nums, right? So here This is what we are getting, right? Okay, so now that simply means if you, this is your 2 is nothing but, let's say, upper bound, right? So now left is nothing but, your left value is nothing but this 0, and right is nothing but upper bound minus 1. So this is your right. So now window length is r minus l plus 1. So r is 1 minus 0 plus 1, that is nothing but 2. So 2 is correct. 2 is the window length. That simply means we have two elements which we can use to reach to 61, right? So from 53 also I can reach to 61, right? If I add, what if I add 8, then I can reach to 61, right? 9, 10, 11, yes. And from 88, if I subtract 27, I can reach to 61, right? So that's the simple meaning of this. So this is what we were doing, right? So count in range and base frequency and possible, right? So we are not checking all the elements, but we are only checking the few elements, like here 53, 61, right? 53, 61, then I will check for 80 and 88, then first just return the best possible answer, right? Not check all the numbers, right? So what are the few changes that I'm going to do here? So first is this loop. I'm not going to run this complete loop, right? So what I'm going to do instead of this, so only I'm going to iterate over few modes. So let's say I'm going to create one tree set and tree set name modes, and in those modes I'm just going to iterate over these mode one by one. And here, instead of all the target, I'm just going to write mode, and here I'm just going to write mode, right? And same way here also I'm just going to write mode, and that's it, I think, right? And here I'm just going to create one tree set of modes. So here I'm going to write tree set, and here integer, and here you can say modes is equal to new tree set. All right, and that's it, right? This is what you need to do, one thing. And here we have to just modify this as well, right? So in this we are just simply calculating the frequency as of now, but instead of just calculating the frequency, I have to calculate the modes, right? So I have to generate the new modes as well, right? So for 53 we have 26 and 80. I'm just considering 80. For 88 we have 61 and 115. I'm just considering 61, and 53 and 88 we have to add these two as well. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to remove this, right? Let's simply remove this complete, right? So here I'm going to write one, let me just maximize the screen here. So I'm going to write one helper, helper to add modes, mode and its boundary candidates. So this is what I'm going to do here, right? So what I'm going to do here, int I is equal to 0, I'm initializing my I value, and here I'm just going to run one while loop while my I is less than n. So I'm going to iterate over all the elements one by one, and inside this first, what is the first element? Int num is equal to nums of I, right? So first element I'm taking, and then I'm I'm initializing my j to I. Then I'm going to check how many same elements are there, right? So there may be same element in my num, right? So I'm just going to run while j is less than n, and nums of j value, right? If it is equal to num, right? So we have similar same number of same elements, right? Like 80, 80 correct 2 times, like that. So if we have similar elements, so I'm just counting the frequency, right? So I'm just iterating, making j plus plus here, and now the frequency is nothing but int count is nothing but I'm simply going to do j minus I. So it is going to give me the count of same numbers, right? Right. So this is done, clear. And once this is done, then after that, in the frequency map, I'm just going to put this frequency. Okay. So here I'm just calculating the frequency as of now, num count. Okay. And here answer is nothing but math.max of answer and count. And this is done. So here I've just calculated the frequency and max answer I've updated here, right? And in the modes, right, the three set modes that I've created, in the modes I'm just going to add this num, right? This is what I'm going to add. And here if num minus k value, right, if it is greater than equal to nums of 0, right, the first value, right, only then I'm going to add this to my modes, right? So modes dot add num minus k, right? So here if num plus k, right, num plus k value, if it is less than equal to nums of last value, then minus 1, right? So in that case only I'm going to update this modes dot add, and here num plus k, that's it. Okay, that's it, that's what I'm doing here, that's it. And here once I calculate this, right, j is equal to, I'm initializing j to I, and I'm doing this, and once all this is done, then I'm just going to point I to the next j, right, because I'm doing j plus plus here, right? So now let's run it and see if the code will try to fix that. Let's see if we miss anything. So see, all the test cases has been accepted right now. And here, okay, and here in this particular example, all right, so here let me show you this let me move this and this, and here let me create one test case. 53 we have, right? 53, and we have 88. K is equal to 27 and number of operations 2, right? Now let me show you. Okay, so here instead of target mark, just write a mode. All right, and here also if you want you can change it to mode, right? Now let's run it. All right, so now if you see this case 3, if you see this case 3, so we are checking mode 53, then 61, then 80, then 88, right? So this is for 3347, but for if you say 3346, so what we were doing for 53, 88, same example, we are checking 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. So that's what we fix here in this particular example, right? Only few things. Now let's submit this 3347, right? Okay, let's see. So see what we are getting output limit exceeded. So just simply remove these debug statements, right? Just comment this one, this one, and this one, right? Now let's submit it again. So that's why we need to just remove these comments. So see, now our submission is happy, right? So I hope that you guys are able to understand this problem, and if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in the comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Next video. Thank you. Bye bye.